eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley joins us with other developments at the Capitol this week. Sean, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.
The Ethics Commission lost its case against the legislature over funding. Fill us in.
That's right. The Ethics Commission sued the Governor, Mary Fallin, as well as the state legislature, saying that the decision of the legislature to only appropriate $710,000 to the commission violated the Oklahoma Constitution. The Ethics Commission is a constitutionally created state agency, and according to its attorney, Jan Pressler, that constitutional provision states that the commission will be appropriated funds sufficient for it to do its job. In other words, whatever they ask for, they contended, they should receive from the legislature. But the governor and the legislature's attorneys argued, no, that's not the case. The Ethics Commission is not unique, and it is subject to the Oklahoma State Finance Act and should be treated as all other agencies. The court, after reviewing testimony heard before a Supreme Court referee, agreed with the governor and the legislature and decided that the Ethics Commission is just like any other state agency, that they don't get special financial treatment. From now on, they'll be treated just as they have been in the past, but they will also have to submit their budget request to the Office of Management and Enterprise Services and the legislature by October 1st.
And now the Ethics Commission is facing a new lawsuit. What's this one about?
Yeah, the tables have sort of turned. A group out of Washington, D.C. would like to give lawmakers a book that addresses issues related to lobbyists and other concerns. However, the book is valued at $15, which is more than the spending limit allowed for small incidental gifts. Therefore, the group is saying that that limit violates their First Amendment and their 14th Amendment rights, and they're suing the commission in federal court to have its rules, its spending limits overturned.
There are possibly changes coming to the school funding formula. An interim study has begun work, and a special panel is working on a final report. What's likely to come out of this?
Yeah, often we talk about education funding, but that's not the end of the story for local school districts as far as that is concerned. There is a formula that takes into account a number of different data points, the number of second graders in a school, for example, to determine how much funding each school district gets. Some of those weights and measures have been in place for a number of years and have not been updated. And one of the areas of concern is alternative education, where they say it's a very outdated formula. The task force, as well as the interim study, are looking at what could be done. There's also work taking place at the State Department of Education that will ultimately find its way into legislation when lawmakers reconvene in 2019.
Another interim study is focused on health care behind bars. What did they hear?
Yeah, in particular, they were interested about mental health and substance abuse treatment. One of the things they heard was there's simply not enough. There's not enough personnel and there are not enough programs to really adequately provide for the needs of all Oklahoma inmates. Lawmakers will, of course, take a look at that issue again when they reconvene in 2019.
eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley, thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome.